Well, the season has kicked off for the major division, and now it shall for the minor division. Hello, everyone. I am Metafiction, and today we see our 8 minor league teams beginning their campaign in Season 17. North Shore more or less ran away with the title last time around. Will they do the same again, or will a new challenger be able to step up to them? It'll be Atheni who get their first crack at North Shore today. Other matches include Inter London hosting Cairo City, Seoul Mythic playing host to Montreal United, and Capstad Football Club welcoming AS Paris. Atheni, in our first match, have made significant strides over the last season. This will be a very interesting measuring stick to see if they do indeed have what it takes to stand up to the reigning champions. North Shore, however, always a formidable opponent, going to be an extremely tough ask of any team, let alone Atheni. But certainly Atheni will be believing they are up to the challenge, so time will tell who is right. Atheni coming with, well, I struggle to call that a formation, but I suppose the closest I could come up with is a 4-2-3-1 of some sort, and North Shore trying to one-up them, playing Nemorino and Lopta in a bit more of a withdrawn role as wide midfielders more so than out-and-out wingers. A tactical innovation from both sides in varying degrees. There are certainly tactical purists that are probably not keen on this matchup, I have to say, but nevertheless, here is Lopta for North Shore. Maldonado has a shot, and immediately it's Miko Rashford making his presence known. Well, it didn't even take 3 minutes for Miko Rashford to burst onto the SSL scene. Maldonado playing the ball in, and Rashford, well, it's a light touch to be fair, but it's a touch that made all the difference, putting it past Duke in goal. As Atheni 0, North Shore 1 in the early stages. Is that a sign of things to come once again this season? North Shore patient in the build-up in their own third. Girard finds the pass forward to Yure. That pass, though, trying to find Nemorino, cut out. Snooks. Inside for Andrews. Forward to Casual. And Casual, anything but with that finish. But it's offside. Well, easy come, easy go for North Shore. They thought they'd had a second, but Casual ruled offside. Lynn now sending the ball long, and Jero able to head it back. Casual now with the ball, well onside this time, but Kulashad getting the foot in on the challenge. Through ball to Rashford. Rashford! And it forces a save out of Duke. Lopta will take the corner kick, and Casual getting the finish wrong. Snooks trying to dribble past Corrigan, excuse me, and Casual once again, the header not quite of the required standard. Kulashad, pressured by Lopta, but retaining possession here for Atheni. Coomer down to Smallwood, and back. Knocking her down again. Sending it back to the goalkeeper. Athenai couldn't quite find the way through on that one, but they have it here. Here's Smallwood. Smallwood forces a save out of Von Bismarck. Now Corrigan to send in a corner kick to try and find an equalizer. A diving header from Girard to deny them. And that one out of danger. Well, after that opening goal, the game has settled into a bit more of a relaxed rhythm. Both teams trying to take their moments. Smallwood lays it off for Corrigan. Long through ball to Scott. Scott! Well, just as soon as I said that, Sterling Scott kicks it up a notch. And Athenai have equalized. What a through ball that was by Corrigan. And what a finish from Sterling Scott. An incisive attacking move from Athenai. And the scores are level. 1-1. Nearly 30 minutes have elapsed. And it is all to play for here in Greece. But the through ball to Rashford. North Shore regained the advantage, and who else but Miko Rashford II. A brace in his first senior game. If there were any questions about the first goal, there can be none about that one. Let's take a look at the offside here. Times the run perfectly, still playing Rashford onside. And it is 2-1 in favor of North Shore. That shot from Neymarinho off the corner of the goal, nearly making it 3 from the corner kick. And what a start from Miko Rashford and North Shore. As we near halftime, Rashford already on a hat trick, but for the moment unable to catch up to Panda. That pass, though, cut out by Yore. Ball falls to Rashford, but Kulishad able to get the challenge in. Smallwood over the top for Scott. Can Scott match it? No, it's off the crossbar. Puts it back. This time it goes in. Well, full credit to the heads-up play here of Sterling Scott. Takes the shot. It's off the bar. Snooks tries to head it to Maldonado, but Scott is there to put back the rebound. And this is a very fascinating striker's duel we've got developing here. Both Sterling Scott and Miko Rashford II on a hat trick. And the score is 2-2 just before halftime. A pair of exciting young strikers really lighting it up today. Here's Neymarinho, weaving inside, finds Lopta. Lopta into the box, under threat from Kulishad. Armaros to Snooks, and Snooks forces Duke to push it over the bar. 3 minutes of added time to be played once we hit 45 minutes. Could there be one more goal before the half? Casual. Into Neymarinho. Armaros has a go and wins another corner. Lopta fires in, falls to Yore, now back to Lopta with the cross. Lopta ruled offside. Now here is Duck. Forward to Corrigan. Now Camavinga for Athenai. Has runners, finds Scott. Scott forces... Well, no, Scott ruled offside. I apologize. The goal went wide, and he was offside anyway, so it ended up not mattering. But it's a fine duel here at Exarchea. Athenai 2, North Shore 2, with 45 to play. These teams very evenly matched so far. A lot of Athenai's XG, courtesy of Sterling Scott. But both teams really doing well in facilitating their young star strikers, respectively. North Shore with more of the shots. And certainly did have that goal by Casual disallowed for offside. So it'll be very fascinating to see how this second half plays out. The match is very much there for the taking for both these teams. And it is North Shore who have gotten us underway, going left to right in the all-white. Duck, having taken the throw-in, has it back. Lynn finding the pass to Klula shot, but nothing doing there, and it goes back to the keeper. Athenai, of course, having had several rough seasons, but seem to be back on the upswing, as here is Panda. Challenged by Girard, squares it, and Nicholas Corrigan puts back the chance from Sterling Scott. Well, how about that for heads-up play? Another example of good reflexes and quick thinking from this Athenai attack. Sterling Scott fired straight at Von Bismarck on a hat trick. Von Bismarck able to block it, but Corrigan seizing on the rebound. And Von Bismarck could do nothing about the putback. So it is Athenai 3, North Shore 2. Snooks. North Shore trying to find that equalizer. Here is Lopta, and another good save by Duke. North Shore is certainly not in the habit of losing league matches very often, as this corner comes in and it's headed over the bar. Smallwood getting onto the ball, long ball from Scott. Crosses back in, and cross only finds Von Bismarck. Armaros out wide to Snooks now. Over the top for Neymarinho. Trying to head down for Casual. Tries again. Duck getting to it. And the referee has given a penalty. Casual brought down in the box and will take it. Despite Rashford being on a hat trick, Casual seems to have insisted on taking the penalty, and it's been saved. Well, how about that? There is a corner kick on for North Shore here, but that is a surprising moment. Maldonado to Lopta. And Mourinho back to Snooks. Ball in, and Coomer down, letting it go behind. And I have to say, it's a questionable decision not to let Miko Rashford II attempt to finish his hat trick with that penalty as Corrigan, the corner goes behind. Casual instead taking the penalty, and a good save. Take nothing away from Duke in goal with an excellent penalty save. As that long shot from Smallwood cannons back out. Coomer down now. And how decisive will that penalty prove to be? Smallwood trying to play the quick passing route to Panda, but cut out by the defense. Neymarinho. Snooks again. Armaros forward to Rashford. Back out to Armaros. Corrigan over the top for Scott. Is this the hat trick? Scott in space. Fires just wide. In real danger of scoring there, but push the finish just to the left of the post. Camavinga pressured by Neymarinho. Corrigan back to Camavinga. Over the top, finds Duck. Now can Duck find someone in the center? He does. Camavinga to Panda. And it's a horrible moment for Jean Girard conceding that own goal. An unfortunate development for North Shore. Atheni, though, certainly won't be complaining. Panda trying to square it to Smallwood or Scott in the center, but instead, Girard getting a foot to it and redirects it behind his own keeper. Certainly a moment he'd like to have back, but for the moment, it is Atheni 4, North Shore 2. And this would be a sensational result if it does hold. Lopta through to Rashford. Rashford just barely missing. 10 minutes to play. Atheni with a 2-goal lead over the reigning champions. Casual intercepting the pass, but Camavinga getting a foot in. Now Armaros. Around Camavinga to Snooks to Casual. And Casual ruled offside once again. Time running out for North Shore as Atheni holding on to a more than creditable victory here. If it stands, Panda's shot goes wide. Lopta heads forward to Jure in some space. Jure cutting back. Lopta, and it's off of Klula's shot there. Jero trying to bring it forward again, but the move ultimately comes to nothing. 3 minutes added on. That's all that North Shore have to try to find not one but 2 goals. Here's Neymarinho, but Duck with a strong challenge to disrupt that move. Now here's Snooks. Getting around. Crosses in. Casual. And Duke able to get to that easily. Lopta with the free kick. Sends it over, courtesy of Camavinga, in the wall. And it's a late corner for North Shore. 2 goals is a tall ask at this point, but it's not impossible, certainly. Andrews to Jero in a lot of space, and Duke once again called into action. Neymarinho back to Lopta. Kulashad gets the foot in, and Lopta offside anyway. And we have exceeded the 3 minutes of added time. The referee, checking his watch, blows the whistle. And Atheni on the back of a debut brace not a debut, but a season debut, I suppose, from Sterling Scott, have won this one 4-2 over the reigning champions North Shore United. Miko Rashford with an excellent debut. He is debuting, I apologize, with 2 goals. But it is Sterling Scott who will take player of the match honors with a brace. And you have to wonder just how impactful was that missed penalty by Casual. And how different would this outcome have been had Miko Rashford been able to take that penalty instead. Certainly one for the what-if pile. We may never know just how different we might have ended up, but In any case, it is an excellent victory for Athens at home on Matchday 1, and they'll be looking to try and keep that momentum going all the way through the rest of the season. A 4-2 win for Athens. North Shore's title defense off to a rocky start. Next up, we travel to London, where Inter London will host Cairo City. Inter London, more or less the only team to give North Shore any real trouble last season in terms of standings. They'll be looking to make good on a proper title challenge this time out. As for Cairo City, it's been more of a mixed bag of their fortunes. They've been consistently mid table for the last several seasons. Certainly, we'll be hoping this is their time to really break out. It's a 4-2-4 for Inter London, countered by what appears to be a 4-4-2 diamond with wide midfielders for Tokyo. Now you see Athens currently top of the standings after exactly one match has been played. Bit of a dubious honor, but an honor nonetheless. Ball played back to Dabiru. Super Hoops forward to Bushtit. Torres now. Crosses in. Bushtit off the post and back out. Rico Torres returning to Cairo City, a team that drafted him all the way back in Season 1. Nunez, though, with the corner for London, headed down off the post and back away. And a big chance for Inter London goes missing. Will they have another here? This dives in a lot. Playing the ball with Williams. Ultimately sending it back to Elmas the Heretic. Williams, Berbatov to Lever. Alturkis can't intercept it from Nunez. Squared, and Jerry puts London up 1-0. He's finished that from very close range, but they all count the same. And it was a great move by London to get the ball into that position. Nunez taking the touch past Alturkis. Jerry completely unmarked right in front of Dabiru, and from that point it is elementary. Visser appears to be playing everyone on side there, or excuse me, that might have been the ball, but nevertheless, an opening goal for Inter London just after the 15-minute mark. Now Smart over the top for Jerry, and Jerry's got a second. No, he hasn't. Ruled offside that time. Well, that would have been an excellent development for Inter London, but not to be on this occasion. London still with the lion's share of possession, though, making most of the chances at the moment, it would seem. London playing in among their back line. Nunez now finding the pass to Berbatov and plays 1-2. Now Kimoatu squares it, and it's Jeffrey Lever, and it's 2-0 to London. Well, once again, a very high percentage shot thanks to some very well-worked passing and some good runs. Here's Kimoatu. Tucks it in behind Wilhelmsdotter. Jerry making the dummy run. And Cairo unable to defend against that one. Pushtit's dribble. Loses out to Williams. And now London coming forward once again. Jerry with the through ball. LeVere, could it be three here? LeVere sends it just wide at the far post. Well, Super Hoops with a corner opportunity for Cairo City. Floats in and headed over the bar by Pierre Hu. Now it's a free kick for Jerry. Taken. And what a save by Dabi Rue in the top corner to keep that one out. That was curving in right into the top corner. But here is Kimoatu, and it's sent clear by Al Turkis. And at halftime, Inter London with a commanding 2-0 lead over Cairo City. Cairo have not manufactured any real chances of note yet. Certainly will be looking to try and get the ball into London's end, but for the moment, London more or less dominating this match. Can Cairo recover from a 2-goal deficit? Or can Inter London seal this match? 45 minutes and we'll have the answer. It's London who get us started. And Schweinsteiger playing it out wide to Nunez. And now Kimoatu trying to get around Visser, but cannot. Schweinsteiger brought down in the box, and the referee has given a penalty. Jia Yun, the one penalized, bringing down Schweinsteiger, and it will be Nunez to take. And it will be Nunez to score. Tyson Nunez makes it 3 for London. Well, Rube had the right direction, just wasn't quick enough to stop that ball from going in. Now Jerry, from the arc, sends the free kick directly into the wall. Nunez stands over the free kick. And it's headed clear by Visser. "30 minutes to go, and London with a 3-0 lead will be very difficult, albeit not impossible, for Cairo City to bring themselves back from this. Visser on the overlap loses out to Kimoatu with a fairly loose touch. Now Berbatov, under threat from Hu, does find Smart in the middle. Back out to Nunez. Kimoatu with the through ball to Berbatov. Berbatov! It was a tight angle, but it was once again very close to the goal. And it is a corner kick. Ball floats in, and what a shot that was. I believe that was Dives in a lot, who got the head to it. Ultimately, Rube able to hold on to that one. Nunez crosses in, and this one goes over. Lee out to Al-Turkis. Now Visser has some space, trying to find somebody. Instead goes himself. Had Hayden or Torres in the middle, but instead taking the shot, and ultimately easy for Elmas the Heretic. Schweinsteiger. Super Hoops gets the foot in, but it goes to Smart. Now Nunez. Nunez squares it. And Berbatov and Schweinsteiger, and neither of them go in. Well, somehow that ball did not cross the line. I'm really not sure how. Across from Nunez, falls to Wilhelmsdottir, who lumps it up the pitch, trying to get it out of danger and reset the move. Williams into Lever. Jerry! And Jerry! Well, it's about as complete a victory as you'll see. Inter London absolutely running Cairo City ragged today. Pierre Houd put the challenge in, but Jerry there to get to it first. And it's been absolute devastation for Cairo City at the hands of London. Squaring it, Berbatov nearly got a fifth, but London not needing it. A brace from Jerry and goals from Lever and Nunez give London a creditable opening day victory, 4-0. Nunez, your player of the match with a goal and an assist. And certainly excellent performances pretty much across the board for London. We see there the same cannot be said for Tokyo. Certainly one they'll like to forget. Yannick Visser picking up a yellow card. Majestic Bushtit having a debut to forget, it has to be said, with a 5.9 rating. But there you have it. Inter London 4, Cairo City 0. Next up, we travel to South Korea, specifically Seoul, where Seoul Mythic FC will take on Montreal United. Both of these teams have the capability to be very good, but have had a bit of a rough go of it in recent times. An opening day win would go a long way to determining how well these teams stack up against one another and potentially against the rest of the division. It's a very narrow formation for Seoul. It kind of defies description. And as for Montreal, a more orthodox 4-2-4. Seoul very much committed to playing through the middle, it would seem. Can Montreal take advantage of those wing areas? Or will they be overrun in the center? That remains to be seen. As Seoul get us started going right to left in the green and black, Montreal in the white and teal going left to right. .44 intercepting that pass from Doug. Now here's Faulkner. Faulkner gets around Spoon. Faulkner crosses, headed down by Garfield and Hawkins clearing. Back to Nolan though. Schmidt. Faulkner again. And forces a corner out of Seoul. Schmidt sends the corner in. It's headed up into the air, and Bierman gets to it. So again, with that very narrow, almost arrowhead-like shape, a 3-3-3-1, you might call it. And that was a very risky challenge, and it hasn't paid off. And it's Eric Bierman who is sent off early on in this match, in the 15th minute. Well, you just can't make a challenge like that. And that's going to make Montreal's task much harder for the rest of this match. Schmidt now weaving inside. Nolan tripped up. A long shot, a powerful shot from Suzuki. Ultimately coming to nothing. Montreal now very weak in that midfield. Perhaps this is where Seoul's strategy might come into play. In the meantime, though, here is Schmidt with the corner kick. Suzuki back out to Schmidt. Gets around Sherwood, crosses to Borat. Neuer holds on. Nagatoro Maradona finds Aloisi. Aloisi near the center. And Maradona can't get the ball down. Schmidt now to 44. 44 finds Faulkner. Faulkner trying to cross. It's reflected back to Borat, and Neuer holds on. Sherwood. Back to Spoon, and now Paul. Some quick passing here from Seoul, trying to outwit Montreal's defense with quick movements. Paul to Staines, and now Aloisi. Nagatoro Maradona, back into Hawkins, and Daedalus Hawkins breaks the deadlock. Montreal down a man and now down a goal after some quick passing from Seoul Mythic. Aloisi finds Maradona, finds Hawkins, finds the net. And when you can move the ball that efficiently, there's not a lot defenses can do. Seoul Mythic striking first. It is 1-0. Montreal seemingly falling victim to that man disadvantage. The Mayormen being sent off. They are even more shorthanded in midfield, but here is Schmidt with the shot, and Clara Schmidt says, who needs a midfield? Well, that is how you equalize. Nolan passes to Schmidt in so much space out on that wing. Schmidt cuts inside and then off the left foot punishes the narrow setup of Seoul Mythic. And I thought that might happen at the beginning, and it seems to have come to fruition. Seoul allowing that chance from the wide area. And while they've been strong in midfield, there was the worry of conceding from wide. But now Paul brought down in the box. Nolan ruled to a foul Paul, and it's Ruma to take the penalty for Seoul Mythic right on halftime. And Ruma does indeed score the penalty to put Seoul Mythic back in front. Well, some very dramatic swings in this match as Ruma blocks the penalty away with no trouble. And Seoul Mythic will go into the break with a narrow advantage, 2-1. Well, it has to be said, the score perhaps not as close as it would seem. So with a palpable advantage in expected goals, 1.3 to just 0.52. I did question the narrow setup, but they do seem to be drifting a little wider, as you can see down there in the bottom left of the average positions. Those central midfielders on the left and right, drifting out into pseudo-winger positions. Certainly a very fascinating tactical setup here. We'll have to see how much fruit that bears them. Seoul clearly doubling down on their midfield strength. And now Dogwood Maple coming on for Baraka Aloisi for Seoul. And Rob Tucker now coming on for Montreal United. Paul to Staines. Staines has a shot, and Staines has a goal. Well, it wasn't long after the break, but they've doubled their lead now. And once again, it's come through the midfield. Staines with an excellent shot there. And now it's just gone from bad to worse for Montreal. They're now down another player. Clara Schmidt going off with an injury here. Schmidt, their goal scorer. And that is a devastating blow for Montreal. They've already lost a player due to a red card. And now they've lost their goal scorer to injury. It is Krustis Jr. who comes on in place of Schmidt. Fortunately, they are able to make up the difference on the bench. At 44 squaring to Suzuki, but Suzuki offside. Paul with the free kick and forces a save out of Williams. With 30 minutes to play, Seoul looking very good value for this 2-goal lead. Although Montreal with the free kick sent in by Borat. Hawkins sending it clear. Tucker around Paul and forces the save out of Neuer. And here is Ken to take the corner kick. Worked around to Borat, it appears. It's another corner kick. Maradona cutting out that pass intended for Krustis. And now Maple. Dribbling past Zerhuni. Squares it. Spoon had the shot, but it took a deflection, and Williams able to pounce on it. Maradona pass cut out, but it finds its way to Paul, but goes well over the bar. Ken trying to get around Maradona. Crosses in. Neuer punches clear. Borat tries to get the foot in, but it's back with Seoul, and now could be on the break here, Seoul Mythic. Maple, through ball to Maradona. Squares it to Paul. Paul fires just wide. And that was an incisive breakaway from Seoul, but they couldn't make the finish. Now here's Maradona. Squares to Staines. Staines shoots from distance. And that will be that. Seoul Mythic wrapping up an excellent victory with that shot. Any question of Montreal coming back can probably be discarded now, courtesy of that long shot from Staines. What a finish that was. Williams could only watch as it blazed by. Seoul Mythic 4, Montreal United 1. And the dismissal of Bierman and the loss of Schmidt to injury really hurting this Montreal side here. Ken to Krustis. Krustis squares it to Tucker, but can't get the shot on target. It's been that kind of day for Montreal United. Staines beating the ball by Shaftwell. Hall sends it forward. Krustis cutting out the pass there. Ken getting to it. Shaftwell slowly bringing it forward. Eventually finds its way to Krustis. Switching play now. Tucker brings it down. Borat on the overlap. Cuts inside and shoots wide at the near post. It's a deep throw for Montreal. Any goal at this point would be merely consolation. And that one cut out by Staines. And the referee blows for full time. And Seoul Mythic getting off to a great start with a 4-1 victory over Montreal. Daedalus Hawkins opening the scoring for Seoul. Clara Schmidt got an equalizer for Montreal. But then Donnarumma with the penalty just on halftime. Then the brace from Wesley Staines. Some unfortunate turns of events for Montreal, the dismissal of Bierman, of course, and Schmidt being forced to be subbed off. But a very strong win for Seoul Mythic. They'll be definitely glad to have gotten those 3 points on the board on match day 1. Now on to our final match of the day, which sees Capstad FC taking on AS Paris. Now, a lot has been made, of course, of the current state of the Sao Paulo AS Paris organization as a whole in terms of their lack of results over the last few seasons. However, management and many in the league having reason to believe brighter days are ahead for both major and minor outfits. Paris will have their first test of the season away to Capstad, who come out with a 4-1-4-1 formation. And as for AS Paris, well, it's a very uncharacteristically un-French formation. A 4-4-2 feels more British than French, if you ask me, but it is what Paris give us. And so, game on here in Cape Town, South Africa. Paris working the ball forward, but intercepted. Now here's Wagner winning it away. At like 2%, sends it forward to Gorgon. Gorgon drifting past Lund, weaving through, and Van Dorn able to get the foot in to stop that from getting to Vanderbilt. Long ball from Lualua. And it falls to Lund. Paris now coming forward. Victoria into Lund. Lund has a shot and it's off the post and goes behind for a corner. Well, an early threat here from AS Paris. And Victoria stands over the set piece, which is now sent in. And it's Walrusen who holds on. Gorgon now with a free kick for Capstad. Headed down, and Lualua holds on to it. Now in the significantly more threatening set piece, but Lualua equal to the challenge. Ramos forward to Fantabins. Now square to Wagner. And headed in by Tortellini, but Lualua able to tip it away. Gorgon, another corner kick into the air, and Quackleval the Duck heading it clear. Alderson with the ball at feet, sends it long. Van Dorn trying to clear it, but it falls to Hunt. And now here's Vandermans. Around Van Dorn, and to Aaron Ford in the middle. And it's the rookie Aaron Ford who opens the scoring for Kapstad for season 17. Vandermans able to get the pass in, the low cross past Van Dorn, and Ford beats the defensive line and slots it home. Obranca cutting out that pass, and now Kapstad come forward again. Wagner to Vandermans, through ball to Ford again. This time, Ford ruled offside. Bertolini sends it to Gorgon on the near flank, but Norris able to get the ball away from the Kapstad player. Inclon. Belmont loses out to Tortellini, and Hunt mopping up the ball. Here's Tortellini again. Weaves inside and shoots, and Lua with another good save. We're going with the corner kick up into the air. Back out to Tortellini now. Wagner. And it's a penalty. Vandermans brought down in the box. And it will be Cabral to take. And the penalty finds the back of the net. Kapstad go up 2-0, courtesy of Joao Cabral. Just under 30 minutes played, and Kapstad with a 2-goal lead. Lua dodged the wrong way. Cabral blasted into the net. And it is Kapstad 2, AS Paris 0. Paris winning that ball away from the attack, but it goes back to Kapstad. Now Ramos to Vandermans. Vandermans squares it. Couldn't quite get on the end of it, was Tortellini. At like 2%, pressured by Lund. And that shot from Hunt forces a save out of Lua. Now Gorgon sending the corner kick in again. Back out it goes. Still in the air. Tortellini trying to head it on goal, but was ultimately too far away. Didn't quite have the right angle. But here is Hunt. Victoria, though, getting the challenge in. Wagner shoots just inside the box, and it's another corner kick. Lua not making it very easy for Paris, or excuse me, for Kapstad. It's another corner, and another delivery from Gorgon incoming. Soon finds Cabral to Tortellini, and that one off the crossbar, courtesy of, I believe that was Vandermans. And the duck, Quackaval the duck, that is, fouling the Kapstad player on that challenge. Wagner intercepting the ball inside for Ford. Norris losing out on the 50-50 to Gorgon. Ramos. Tortellini for Defendibens. Tried the through ball, and it's a long shot there. And ultimately, right to Lualua. Mayhem to Norris. Lund tries to take the touch, but at like 2% gets in front of it. And Kapstad come forward yet again at like 2%. Around Norris, weaving into the box, and scores! Goku at like 2% is 100% on fire right now with that move. The deft touch past and around Norris, and a perfectly placed finish. And that's 3 goals to Kapstad in the first half. Paris have it all to do to try and come back from this as Gorgon brings forward. Now here's Wagner. Wagner makes it 4! Well, when it rains, it pours for AS Paris. Devin Wagner making the deficit that much steeper. It's a good through ball from Ford, who's been excellent today. And Wagner with another great finish. Lualua powerless to resist. And Kapstad have frankly dominated this match from the word go. 4-0 at the half, 16 shots, 10 of them on target, an XG of 3.4. Paris only managing a single shot in this match. It is as professional a performance as you're likely to see from this Kapstad side. "45 minutes to play. AS Paris looking for a miracle here. Tortellini with the through ball to Gorgon. Gorgon with a low cross. That was in real danger of finding Ford. Instead, it goes all the way around to Fantibens. And Van Doorn able to win the ball with the challenge. Well, how can Paris come back from this? It is a very steep deficit. It is a very tall order that now awaits them. Wagner back to at like 2%. Hunt forced back for the moment by Inclon. Lund there to support. Obranca and Cabral. Backline sends it forward again. Here is Wagner. At the edge of the box, and Lualua pushes it behind. Corner in from Gorgon. Headed back out to Tortellini. Now Paris perhaps with a venture forward. Belmont out wide to Norris. Norris cutting it back for Inclon. Now here's Gillespie. Through ball to Victoria. Takes a deflection immediately from Ramos. And it is a Paris corner kick, which Victoria will take. Tries to find Lund, on the edge of the box. At like 2%, tries to bring it under control, but it's Lund who does end up with it. Less than 30 minutes to play, and Paris in dire straits at the moment. It's another corner for Kapstad. The delivery into the air. Tortellini back to Gorgon. Now here's Ramos trying to find an angle. Does! And forces another save out of Lualua. Gorgon, another corner kick, back up into the air, and it's once again a corner kick. Kapstad continuing to mount pressure on Paris. This time headed clear by Mayhem. Tortellini into Gorgon. And Gorgon shoots from a very narrow angle. Lualua able to push it back into the field of play. And Paris bringing it into possession. Only for the moment, though, as it's another corner kick. Tortellini brings it down, shoots, but it's blocked. And now sent well clear. Now it's a free kick for Hunt in the attacking third, trying to find the head of Vandervens, but nothing doing. Now here's Ramos to Gorgon. Tortellini Mayhem tried to intercept before it does get to it, and it's a long shot from Wagner. An ambitious effort, but wayward, ultimately. AS Paris have been well beaten, it should be said. Certainly still time to at least get a consolation goal as they bring it forward here. Kirkpatrick finds Shalezi. Forced out wide by Fantomans, does get the cross in. And the header from Belmont. Well off. Shalezi forward to the Duck. Now Victoria. Back into the Duck. Weaving through the defense. The Duck. And it's Walrusen who pushes it behind because, as we all know, Walrus beats Duck. I don't know what I'm talking about. Victoria sends in the corner. Walrusen claims it. Only 1 minute of added time, and that is mostly elapsed at this point. Referee surely blowing for full time any second now. A long ball from Lualua, and that will do it. A decisive 4-0 victory for Kapstad, and 3 points on the board to start the season. Joao Cabral is your player of the match, scoring that penalty. Had 4 key passes and 2 clear-cut chances as well. And as for Paris, certainly not keen to dwell on that performance. Lualua making some excellent saves, but that can't really account for the fact that he conceded 4. And so Paris will open the season with a resounding loss away from home. And that is going to do it for us today. Before we go, let's take a look once again at the results and the current standings after Matchday 1. Athenai, of course, win with that 4-2 victory in our opening match of the season over North Shore, followed by a 4-0 win for Inter London at the hands of Cairo City. Then Seoul Mythic with a 4-1 win over Montreal, and Kapstad beating AS Paris 4-0 in that match we just watched. A very curious moment. All 4 winning teams today scoring exactly 4 goals. What does that mean? I have no idea. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Metafiction. Until next time, take care.